You're a waifu. 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 You're definitely a waifu. You're 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 a waifu. This show's got some nice fan service. Just as I promised on the community tab some time ago, I was going to be talking about Mieruko-Chan. So, Mieruko-Chan, if you by some miracle didn't hear about this show, well, welcome, I'm going to be talking about it. But basically, the story of Mieruko-Chan goes as there is this girl named Miku who one day, out of nowhere, for seemingly no reason, started seeing these ghosts. These ghosts, they are all around people, but other people can see them. But she, for some reason, honestly it's not explained yet, she can see them. And now, the twist to this is that she mustn't exhibit any at all emotions. Any little emote can indicate to these ghosts that, well, she can see them and they will, I don't know, fucking take her soul or something. I don't know, it's not been revealed yet. So yeah, basically out of that come a lot of hijinks where she tries to hide her emotions and tries not to react to these ghosts, otherwise she will get, I don't know, gang banged in the afterlife or in the ghostly dimension or something, I don't know. Now, I already made a video on Mieruko-Chan, it's up there, and it was before the anime came out where I was talking about, well, I guess the concept and the manga a little bit. Now, I'm not caught up on the manga, I only read around 10 or so chapters to get prepared for this video. So basically, Mieruko-Chan, honestly, I don't even know where to start. There's a lot to talk about this show because, like you saw with the title of this video, this show just kept surprising me. Now, first off, let's get a big CGI elephant out of the room and let's talk about the ghosts themselves, or aka the whole vibe of the show. Now, this is supposed to be kind of a horror-ish manga, so of course I was quite interested to see how are they going to adapt these creepy-ass ghosts in the anime format, and honestly, they're quite good. Of course, it's not scary. I still think that the first 5 or so minutes of the first episode do show the potential of anime becoming scary, maybe in the near future, like I said in this video. But currently, these ghosts aren't scary. Like in the manga, yeah, they're much more creepier, but I'm still seriously impressed with how they look in the show. Like if you take into account the CGI, it's blended really well with the 2D art style of the show, and they don't feel out of place at all, and they do have some creepy factors. And it will serve their purpose to being, well, scary, at least to Miku herself, and in that regard, it's really good. Speaking of the Bible show, I gotta talk about the opening. Don't get me wrong, it's good, it's catchy. I like the song, but honestly, it feels a bit too lighthearted for the show, because like I said, now the show isn't scary, but it mostly leans into this kind of comedic slice of life type of show, and I'll get to the slice of life parts later. But still, the opening couldn't have been at least 15% more edgier. I don't know, something. I don't know. But yeah, the opening. I mean, it's fine. Again, the visuals aren't anything too spectacular. But yeah. Speaking of visuals of the rest of the show, they're quite impressive. Now, this anime is animated by Studio Passione, who you might know for the little underground anime that also came out this year. Yeah. So yeah, pretty much the show looks great. The animation is amazing. Again, even the models are on point. I rarely found a kind of dirty images in the background or of the characters while they're not talking or in the distance or something like that. So all in all, the quality of the show is really, really good. Now, speaking of Studio Passione, since they've animated this special anime, they do have some experience in fan service. And yeah, there is a lot of fan service in this show, and honestly. And yeah, speaking of the characters that are fan serviced in the show, you basically have two main characters, which is me. No, wait, you have two main characters. What the fuck? You have one main character, which is Miku, who honestly I like, since she is quite likable, also quite relatable in some aspects, and I think that her reactions to these ghosts are, well, pretty I guess, realistic. You can also see like how the story goes on, that she does get at least a little bit used to them, and she kind of starts to figure out how to go around them, not just freezing up out of fear and just ignoring them completely. That's pretty good. You also have the other big booby friend or best friend of her, who is fine. And now the thing that really kind of caught me off guard with this show is basically how the story progressed. Now this story is pretty much set up as to kind of be more episodic, as you know, pretty much to be a bit more episodic, as kind of Miku goes from encounter to encounter of ghosts, and that's about it. But no, because there are actually some ghosts that, you know, they spend a couple of encounters, maybe they'll take up the entire episode, or maybe some characters that were introduced briefly in episode 3 will come back in episode 7, 8, whatever. It really does kind of enhance this kind of timeline of events. There's not like, oh, this is a ghost happened here and there, here. It's like, it's all kind of, you know, connected. It feels like a whole on storyline. And even in the latest episode, you can see that Miku herself is trying to kind of figure out like, oh, why the fuck do I see these ghosts? Like, what does this mean? It really does create a sense of story. But not even that, like even in some individual encounters, because although I can see the semblance of a overarching story, especially if it's going to go the route I think it's going to go, it's going to be pretty interesting, since we're starting to figure out more about these spirits, and also you can notice that there are different kinds of spirits. It's also really cool. Like the show doesn't outright tell you like, oh, not every spirit is good or bad. You kind of have to figure it out yourself. Like it's really interesting. But what I really wanted to touch on is that there are a couple of encounters that honestly really surprised me at how heartfelt and wholesome and, well, honestly sad they were. I'm not gonna spoil them. They're in episodes, I believe, 3, 4, and well later. Well, basically, I think almost every episode has one of them. Specifically, I'm just gonna mention the one with the guy with the cat, and with Miku's dad, and also later on, although it was a bit more predictable, but the one with the teacher's baby. Those three, if you know what I'm talking about, they really surprised me, because this show, like I said, it builds itself around this kind of episodic formula, and you think you know where it's going to go. Like, oh, Miku sees a ghost, mustn't react, oh, it's hilarious, nobody understands what's going on except her. But no, like, through these ghosts, because these are like mostly dead people, you can actually, by the type of ghosts they are, you can kind of guess like what their profession was, what happened to them, maybe even how they died. You also have these ghosts that kind of haunt people, so you can know if people are haunted by good ghosts, bad ghosts. There's so much that goes into this under the surface. Like, it's not explicitly said, and I really think that's so amazing and interesting, because it really gives you a lot to think about. And like I said, like some scenarios where Miku thinks one thing, then it turns out there's a completely other meaning to this ghost or a specter. It's really heartfelt, and it really caught me on guard on multiple occasions. And so yeah, couple that with pretty much getting surprised on every other turn, I'm really digging the show. Now, not gonna lie, it's not like the best show out there. I mean, Mieruko-Chan exists for a reason. But it's still really good and really entertaining, and it's only getting better with each episode. Pretty much as the story goes on, it becomes more and more unique and finds its identity. The production part, like I said, is really amazing. Although I don't have any comments on the music. It's on the soundtrack. It's not too I guess, noticeable. I do like the ending over the opening though. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know if there's anything I missed about this show. I, in general, like it, and I do recommend you to try it out. It does take a bit while to really get going, but it's still pretty fun and pretty good, and all the characters are also quite three-dimensional. They don't have just like a single set emotion, but as they go through some scenarios, they exhibit different, emotions. But yeah, other than that, what do you think about Mieruko-Chan? And do you agree with my opinions? Do you not? I don't know, just post in the comments down below. Well, down there, please like and subscribe, it does help. I'm not gonna lie, December is going to be really tight with all the content I have up for you guys, so be also on the lookout for all of that. And in the end, I have to thank my Patreon. Special shout out to Ranchman. Please, if you want support my Patreon, it really does help a lot. And yeah, in the end, all I can truly say is thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you in another one. Stay strong, guys. Where did mommy go?